Yo, what's up guys? Darkmoon Races, the Darkmoon Faire mini expansion is right around the corner. It actually releases tomorrow, the 21st, at the time of this recording. And there's a lot of really sweet new cards. And there's also a lot of not so cool cards as well too. So in this video, we're going to be going over the top 5 worst cards from this mini expansion. Cards that you want to avoid at all costs, and if you get them in your packs, well, they're probably pretty safe to disenchant. I did also recently make a video on the top 5 best cards of this mini expansion, and if you already haven't checked that out, I'll leave a link somewhere on this screen for you. Without further ado, let's hop into some of these pretty bad cards. All right, so topping off our list at number 5 is going to be a dual class card for Druid and Shaman. It's going to be Guidance. Now, this is a 1-mana spell where you get to look at 2 cards and you get to pick one of them to your hand. You can choose both if you want to overload yourself by 1. Now, the overload synergy really only benefits Shaman, so Druid doesn't really get any benefit of overloading. And the reason why this card sucks so much is because it's 2 random spells. Unlike Discover, where you get to choose from one of 3 options, you get 2 random options. So not only are your options more limited, but if you want to take both of these completely random spells, you get a drawback of overloading. So I guess the only benefit I can see of maybe taking both is just for that overload activator. So you can overload stuff for maybe like the new Mist Runner, maybe for like a Surging Tempest or something like that, or maybe even the new Landslide. But then again, you're getting 2 just random spells, which might not even have any synergy with your deck. It might just be complete garbage. And like, if you're playing a control deck and you're looking for maybe like another like Earthquake or Witch's Brew or something like that, because you're only offered 2 options, chances are you're not going to get what you're looking for, what you're hoping for. And if we talk about Druid, oh, let's not talk about Druid. There's so many garbage spells that, yeah, you don't even want to consider this in Druid. Now, going in to the 4th worst card of this mini expansion is going to be a new Demon Hunter card, the Fell Saber. So it's a 4-mana 5/6 where you can only attack if you've attacked this turn. Now, it kind of seems good, right? You know, it's got good stats and you're always attacking in Demon Hunter. But what deck does this actually fit into? Does it fit into Soul Demon Hunter? Well, they just have better options like Lapidary. They have maybe Gladebond Adept, Bladed Lady. So this just kind of gets shadowed by those. Does it fit into an Aggro Demon Hunter? Probably not, because 4 mana is still just too expensive to play in that kind of a deck. And as crazy as that sounds, there are just better options out there than this Fell Saber. And even then again, 4 mana for 5/6, it's a, you know, a little bit better Yeti. And in today's day and age, that does die pretty quickly to just about everything. And hopping into number 3 of our worst cards of this mini expansion, we have a new warrior card, Ironclad. So it's a 3 mana 2/4 mech, and if you have any armor when you play this, it gets +2/+2. Now, it may seem kind of good on paper, right? 3 mana for 4/6 worth of stats. But again, kind of like the Fell Saber, what deck do you actually put this in? If you put this into a Menagerie deck, aren't you just going to be playing the Baton on 2 and then this on 3, hopefully? So when do you ever have a chance to armor up? This definitely doesn't fit into a control deck because it doesn't have Rush or Taunt. And just playing it as a 3 mana 2/4 is pretty bad as well too. So the only synergy you can possibly have is with that mech tag in like a Menagerie build. But even then, it's just not as aggressive as other cards that you would want to run in Menagerie builds. Coming in at number 2 of the suckiest cards of this mini expansion, we have the new Death Warden. Now, what would an expansion be without their fringe epic tech card, right? Now, it sounds kind of cool, completely shuts down the death rattles, but it is only when this is in play. So not only does this have to live, which is pretty easy to kill for your opponent, and then they'll just play their death rattles anyways, but there's not that much like death rattle stuff going on in the meta. It's a very swingy meta with like spells and weapons and just creating just huge boards from nothing. So like not oftentimes are you really playing a lot of death rattles in any deck. To me, this kind of seems like a backup button for Blizzard. You know, if they happen to print like some really crazy death rattle stuff in the future, this is kind of like their safety net to make sure that nothing really gets out of hand. Like if they print like a Carnivorous Cube 2.0, you know, at least we have this card to maybe tech into some stuff. Yeah, as it currently stands, dust it, get that 100 gold back because it's just not going to see play. And coming in with the worst card for this mini expansion is going to be Saddle Master. So this is a hunter 3 mana 3/4 minion that whenever you play a beast, you get another beast back to your hand, because that's just what hunter needs, is more value, right? Wrong. Hunter honestly doesn't give a crap about value, and even if they did, 3 mana is what you have to pay first, and then you have to play another beast after that. Okay, and then you're also getting a random beast back to your hand, which most beasts are just garbage anyways. So not only do you have to pay a lot of mana for this combo, but you're just getting a bunch of random garbage back to your hand anyways, in a class that doesn't care about value. Yeah, I've seen some pretty bad pack fillers in my days, and this is pretty much right up there. So if you get this in one of your packs, go ahead, dust it right away. It'll never see play. Now, I do also have a couple of honorable mentions to throw at you as well. So first up for the honorable mentions, we have Lightsteed. It's the new priest minion. It's a 4 mana 3/6. Whenever a minion would have gotten healed, then you add +2 health to it as well. Now, one thing to note is that if a minion is at full health and you were to heal it, it does get the +2, even though it's not damaged. And it also does affect your opponent's minions. So be careful if you want to use this with circle healing. Now, the reason why this sucks so much is because what does priests do with a lot of health minions? I mean, before it actually kind of made sense when we had Divine Spirit, so we can maybe kill our opponent with like Divine Spirit, Inner Fire, but now all we're left with is just Inner Fire. So, okay, we have a board full of like high health minions, and then what? We just cast like Inner Fire on one of them and hope to win that way? But before we can do that, our opponent will probably just like Cascading Disaster, Brawl, Soulmere, Plague of Flames. You know, there's 1.5 million ways of dealing with a high health board these days. And we really just can't close out games that way, and it's not really a win condition. So you can do some cool stuff with this, but then you're like, now what? And then coming in for our second honorable mention here for one of the worst cards of this mini expansion, we have the new Mist Runner. So this is a Shaman 5 mana 4/4 that gives a minion +3/+3, and you overload by 1. Now, it's a pretty cool mid-range card, but in this meta, in today's day and age, you're really not just like curving out anything. You're really not playing on curve because there's so many like big swing turns. You want to be mana cheating as much as possible. You want to be making a full board from nothing. You want to be able to clear your opponent's board at the same time. And this is just a little bit too fair. It does have some kind of overload synergy. So if we get maybe more overload synergy in the future, it might be okay. So maybe like post rotation when there's less removal, I could maybe see it seeing play. One thing to note is that it is a battle cry, so I guess you could go ahead and double it up with the quest, but then you're looking at a 7 mana play just to give +6/+6 worth of stats. So that may not be worth it when you want to be dumping like maybe 6 lackeys instead. Yeah, that's it for the 5 worst cards from this mini expansion that you probably want to avoid or disenchant as soon as you get them. Let me know down below in the comment sections which one of these that you agree with or that you disagree with, and let me know if I missed out on any as well. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like down below. It takes a couple seconds and it really does help me out more than you know. And this channel is all about deck building, and I create off meta decks every single day as well. So if you like that kind of stuff, then subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can catch my next creation. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay funky.